Hello, welcome to Talk of the Town. I am your host, Abby on the Avenue, Marketing Director for Appleton Downtown Incorporated. Talk of the Town is a podcast where we shine a spotlight on the people, places, and passion in our community. Each episode, we engage in meaningful conversations with community ambassadors and local business owners as they share their stories about what makes our district thrive. Whether you're a history buff, foodie, music lover, or something in between, there's something here for everyone. Join us as we uncover the stories of what makes Downtown Appleton one great place. Welcome back, everyone, to Talk of the Town. Today, we're welcoming back two familiar guests. We have Meghan Warner and Corey Otis with the City of Appleton Parades Committee. They joined us back in November to talk about all the things with the Christmas parade, and now they are back to share what's ahead for two more important community traditions here in Appleton, the Memorial Day Parade and the Flag Day Parade. These events bring people together to honor service members, celebrate patriotism, and continue traditions that mean so much to our community. Today we'll talk about what goes into planning these parades, why they matter, and what attendees can expect this year. Please help me welcome Meghan and Corey.
Hi. Do we clap?
Oh, yeah. I think we need to insert some applause there, Jordan. Maybe we need some sound effects or something like that. Well, thank you guys so much for coming back on the podcast to talk about even more parades that you guys have coming up. It feels like just yesterday we were in here talking about the Christmas parade, and now we're already rocking and rolling on the next two.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go.
Yeah.
So for those who may have missed the last episode, can you share a little bit about your roles with the City of Appleton Parades Committee and what you guys each do?
Well, I'm the chairperson of the committee. I've been on it officially since 2000, but just like Meghan, by the way, we're brother and sister, in case your listeners forgot since our last appearance here. But
yes.
She and I have been helping out with the parades pretty much as long as we could walk on two legs. So this is a huge family tradition for us, and we're really proud to serve Appleton in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am the parade liaison. Like Corey said, we have been involved with the parade since birth. Our grandfather started the tradition as the parade chair, and then our father, and now Corey is the parade chair. So as my role, I am with Appleton Downtown Incorporated as well, and on the parade committee. So I have that dual role. So.
Yes, involved in all things Downtown Appleton. So let's start a little bit. We're going to kick off with the Memorial Day Parade because that one's coming up first. Can you guys just give us kind of a high-level overview on this parade? You know, a little bit of the history if you want, you know, date, time, all that jazz. Just give people a little broad overview before we dive in.
Sure. So the parade is on Monday, May 25th. So it's coming up. Mm-hmm. And it always takes place at 9 a.m. It starts on the corner of College and Appleton. Mm-hmm. And it is heading east. And go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, we start off at Appleton Street and College Avenue, and we head east to Meade. Take a left, turn north on Meade Street, and then take a right or further east on Pacific, all the way to Riverside Cemetery, which is where the moment of remembrance ceremony will begin, just about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the parade.
Yeah, that's a pretty long one, actually.
It is our longest parade. Mm-hmm. It was pretty close, neck and neck with Flag Day, but we made a change to the Flag Day parade, and I'm sure we'll talk about that today.
Yeah, absolutely.
This event really kind of has a somber tone because it really is about recognizing the sacrifices of our fallen servicemen and servicewomen. Yes. And really it comes down to just making sure that we never forget about those who made the ultimate sacrifice, who gave their lives, protecting the freedoms that we all enjoy. So it is kind of a quiet event in that way, but we do have marching bands playing patriotic music. We see a lot of people out on College, on Meade, on Pacific, go through a lot of neighborhoods. And it really is a nice event. In that ceremony at Riverside Cemetery, it really has turned into a nice tribute for really anybody who has made that ultimate sacrifice, like I said, or anybody who has served or knows someone who has served.
Yes. Yeah. A great tradition for sure. And something kind of special this year, you know, important talking about this as we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. For both of these parades that we have coming up, just kind of a unique aspect to this event, you know, going along with a community-long tradition that we've had here with these parades. But cool that that's kind of coming up as well.
Yeah, it's really a special year. America 250, and I know a lot of our participants have their own kind of unique twist on that, and they're going to do something a little bit different at the Memorial Day Parade and the Flag Day Parade. So it's really kind of cool. I mean, I was at the bicentennial. Megan, arrived a few years after that.
Literally
And
arrived
I don't
into the world.
remember it, but
Yeah.
but so
younger.
this is kind of a cool thing that
A
people
lot.
will a lot younger. Yes, we have to make sure that's clear.
That's
for
on the
everybody.
record.
Yep.
But people talk about the bicentennial. 1976 is something that they remember forever, and we're hoping that this year will be a similar milestone for those who experience it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything specifically, you guys are doing to call it that 250th, or are you kind of just having that be more something that the attendees or the parade participants, thank you, they're kind of doing?
Not for this parade. This one, we don't really want to take the focus away from the purpose of this event. And like I said, it's to pay tribute to all of our fallen servicemen and women. So it really is kind of a tradition in every sense of the way, because it really kind of follows the same order, has a lot of the same participants. The ceremony itself follows the similar cadence.
Yes.
And we kind of have that similar message every year, and we don't want to take away from that. Flag Day, we're really looking forward to celebrate America 250.
Yes, that's a good way to talk about that, about kind of the tones of the different parades and, how they respectively have their own, purpose for people when they're coming to celebrate. So I know you talked a little bit about this, but, if we're looking at the day, I'm on College Ave or wherever the case may be looking at the parade, talk about what attendees can expect this year. You talked about kind of where it starts with the route and things like that, but, give people a little bit of a picture of what it would be like if they were sitting there watching the parade.
Yeah, it's like Corey said, it's the same every year. We like to keep tradition.
Yes, important with this type of style for sure.
Yeah, it's the same every year.
Yeah.
You'll see a mix of community groups, veteran organizations, military units, marching bands, a lot of the high school bands, they're all attending.
That's awesome.
Local organizations, honor guards, youth groups. So we have the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, musical performances.
That's very cool.
Yeah, just a lot of community coming together, paying their
Absolutely.
ultimate sacrifice. That's what they're there for.
Exactly.
So, yep, just making the march down to the cemetery, and
for sure.
that's what they're doing. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shorter parade than Flag Day. This one's probably between 30 and 40 units. I think we've approached 50 a couple of times. So, it's kind of a nice way to kick off the holiday. Just remembering and grounding in the importance of Memorial Day and why we put it on our calendar. And we really should say that Eric Stadler, who is an integral member of our committee, has been a part of it for a very long time. Eric really kind of heads up Memorial Day. He's really kind of taken that over probably 2 decades ago. So he's the one reaching out to the participants, lining them up, working with the cemetery to make sure everything is set and go. And he's actually the MC for the ceremony as well.
Yep.
So Eric puts a lot
nice.
into this event. And he's really a great advocate for veterans and their organizations across the valley.
Yeah. Yeah. He does that for the Christmas parade too. I know he kind of stands in remembrance of, veteran. I think he's with is he usually with the color guard for the Christmas parade?
He's with the Appleton American Legion Scarlet Guard, color guard.
Yes. Very, very cool. Yeah. So kind of cool to see some of those traditions come to life, every year, especially with, a variety of those groups. Because I think a lot of people, when they are thinking about it, they're like, how do you honor that in a parade type setting? So it's cool to see these different, you talked about veteran organizations, but community organizations also coming together too, past veterans that are in it, just a wide variety of different groups, bands, and everything that are all coming together to share this common message every year, I think is really unique.
Right. And the same organizations coming back year after year. It's just great that they all come together and do this and continue to do it.
Yes. Yeah, and it's an important thing, especially obviously, as times go on and the years go on, a lot of these wars and things were so long ago, but important to keep remembering those and the continued sacrifice that, our servicemen and women are making all, across the world for us, and just seeing families come together to talk about that and hearing their stories about, how their grandparents served or their parents serve, and some of them, how that inspires them. And I just love hearing those types of stories. And I'm sure a lot of those will come together and people will talk about that with the parade, which is really cool.
Yep.
At the moment of remembrance ceremony too, we have speakers from the 5 major high schools in Appleton, and it culminates with a keynote speaker. It's an original speech by a high school student. This year, it's going to be a student from Appleton West. And really, that's kind of the highlight of the day for me, because a lot of times those students will talk about a parent or a grandparent who has served, and maybe did sacrifice their life or maybe paid the price down the road. It's very touching. I mean, there's not a dry eye in the crowd.
I'm sure.
And that really kind of reminds everybody about why we're there.
Yeah, yeah. So are the student speakers every year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
that's
they switch
so cool.
between the high schools every year, so you get somebody new every year. But with that ceremony as well, I mean, it's packed every year. Just to see the community show up and pay their respects is just amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'm sure they very much appreciate that you guys are continuing those traditions and that they're able to come with their family and friends every year to kind of honor and celebrate in that way. So that's very cool. How do, talking a little bit about those, those students and speaking, like how is that selected? Because is that kind of like, do you guys still have like a parade marshal? Because I feel like I remember talking about that from the Christmas parade episode.
Not
for
for
this one.
Memorial
Not for that
Day.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
I got to keep it all straight, guys. There's lots of parades going on.
I know.
There's a lot of traditions and a lot of,
We
way
struggle
do
ourselves.
things.
Yeah.
We gotta ask each other, check our notes.
Yep.
Right.
So there is a rotation of the high schools. This is West year. It's alphabetical, the rotation.
Oh, sure.
So I contact the forensics coaches and say, okay, you need to have somebody read the poem or the historical speech. So we have Logan's Order. We have the Gettysburg Address. And then work pretty closely with the forensics coach and the speaker themselves to put that together and make sure that, they're 17, 18 years old, so kind of have to talk to them about perspective and about, things that they might be leaving out or things they can take out. But we work with them very closely about a month in advance of that ceremony. We also have the McDowell Male Chorus taking part in that, the city band, and there's always a bagpiper that Riverside make sure that we have. And it's really, we talk about the somber tone. The parade it's still a parade, and there's some bouncy music here and there. But when you get to that ceremony, it really brings it home.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about that ceremony. If you could just talk a little bit more about that, like what people could expect during that when they come. And do you expect people, do they kind of just make their way once they know that the parade is done? Kind of like how does that transition work?
It's amazing. And I don't know if it's just because it's been the same way for years, but when they see the end of the parade, people just kind of know to follow the end of the parade to the cemetery. So we're usually the end of the parade.
Right.
And they just know to follow the committee, and you'll just kind of look behind you and you just see the crowd of people kind of follow you.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the closer you get to the cemetery, the more people you have behind you.
Yeah.
And I think people just know that they can park, or stay closer to the cemetery. But there's just a ton of people down there, and they just know, I think.
Yeah.
We also work with the cemetery, and they have a great staff there, and they have a program to follow. So there's a program that tells you what's happening and what order, and people follow that, and they know what's happening. So it's just...
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean...
That tradition is just so neat.
It is,
yeah.
and it's been that way, since we were kids, because we've gone... I don't even know if we've ever skipped one.
You can't.
We weren't allowed to. Yeah. They have plenty of chairs set up. Meghan orders those, and but it's not a bad idea to bring a bag chair if you already had it on the sidelines for the parade.
Yes.
Bob Johnson has been our basically chaplain. He does the invocation, the benediction. He does a great job. I will say that if you're going to go, make sure you hydrate, because we did have a couple people pass out last year. It got pretty hot. It was probably about 11 o'clock. It was a little steamy that day. So
yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of shade there. Usually those seats go first.
Yeah,
sure.
So you might want to bring like an umbrella or something like that just to cover yourself. But
That's awesome.
It really is worth it. It's really a great tradition.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, before we, kind of jump in and talking about the next one, and you kind of just covered this, so maybe you don't have a different answer, but one thing that you guys love about the Memorial Day Parade.
What I jotted down is what I love most is just the sense of unity, just seeing families, the veterans, the students, visitors, just lining the streets, everyone together. I feel like they're not just watching the parade, but they're just taking part in something bigger than themselves. It's awesome. Grounding, it's emotional. It's just a proud moment for the community. Yeah. I feel, it's more than a parade.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
I love that.
Yeah, I really like the ceremony. I love how the parade leads into it, and everybody just kind of all flows in there and is there for the right purpose. And we made the move to student speakers probably about 15 years ago. It used to be like a local politician, and some people went off script, so to speak, and they kind of didn't really remember the purpose of the event. So
Sure.
we brought in the students, and I just have to tell you that the first public high school student that we hit up there, his name is Carter Touche. He did a great job. He brought the house down, told just this incredibly emotional story about his grandfather and his service. Carter is now a forensics coach at Appleton North, and now he is coaching and teaching students. In fact, last year's keynote speaker was one of his students. So everything comes full circle.
I was going to say, what a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was really cool.
No idea.
So it's kind of cool to see the community come together and then just know that this is a tradition that will move on forever.
Yeah, for many, in many different ways, this tradition lives on. So
Right.
that's very, very cool. Yeah. Is there anything else, advice you have for spectators other than what you guys have already talked about?
No, I think this parade, you don't have to set up your chair at like 5 a.m. and I think you can kind of roll up and find a spot. There's usually a lot of spots right by Lawrence University and College Avenue.
Okay.
Pacific can get a little crowded here and there because a lot of that is just neighborhood traffic, so to speak. But like Megan said, as you get closer to the cemetery, the crowd starts to get pretty thick.
Sure.
So if you haven't been there before, right in front of the chapel or some of those Lawrence buildings, that's really a great place to
Nice.
kind of see it for the first time.
Cool. Love that. Awesome. Well, don't forget, Memorial Day Parade is Monday, May 25th, starting at 9 a.m. in downtown Appleton. So get your spot, kind of like Corey just said, and, really prepare for this beautiful moment where we're honoring those servicemen and women. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Flag Day Parade. If you guys could just, again, give us a high-level overview on that parade and kind of how that's a little bit different than Memorial Day.
It is. Well, this year is our 75th anniversary of the Flag Day Parade.
Wow.
Something really special for Appleton. So we got, two big numbers this year. We have the 250th and the 75th.
That's awesome.
We timed that out pretty well. We are one of the longest running Flag Day celebrations in the country. We have some deep roots in the community.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It started as a way to honor the American flag and what it represents. And over the decades, it's grown into a major civic celebration with national recognition. We got some big things planned.
I'm excited.
We're excited what we're putting together. We are still getting floats in.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the events world. If anyone listening's in events, you know how it goes. You got plenty of time.
Right? We worked on the lineup, thought we had it done, had a couple dropouts, which happens.
Again.
Plans change.
Yes.
But new people are coming in, so
That's great.
We're changing things up. But we had some curveballs come at this year. So I don't know if Corey wants to talk about
we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the theme this year is stars and stripes and new beginnings.
which is
Ooh.
And it
Who comes up with that?
well, as a committee, we
committee.
talk and we.
Whoa. I need specific recognition here.
Well, actually, it was Mark Leschke.
I was going to say, Mark Leschke gets the credit
came
for that
up with
one.
it.
All right.
Mark joined our committee about 2 or 3 years ago. He's a former educator at Appleton East. I used to work with him side by side, and so we brought a lot of ideas. We have we have a running list, and that was what we chose. And really, it came down to new beginnings because this is kind of a new beginning for us. It is our 75th. It is America's 250th, but we also have some changes for our event.
Yes.
The biggest and most noteworthy would be shortening the route. In years past, we started at Oneida in Wisconsin, moved down to State, and then to College Avenue from State to Drew. And from here on out, we're going to be from State to Drew. So we've shortened the route, and that was part of the reason why we changed it, was to have a shorter route because we had some of our veteran, more experienced walkers or marchers struggle because it starts at 2 o'clock on a hot Saturday afternoon. We just talked about the ceremony at Memorial or at Riverside Cemetery for Memorial Day. We've had issues recently where people succumbed to the heat and needed to get treatment.
You can pretty much bet with this one, that's going to be a hot day.
Right.
So
it almost always is.
beginning of June, nice and toasty.
I mean, we've had days where it was raining, and for some reason, on parade day, you can't say that day.
Yeah.
You can say it today.
That's fair.
Even though
We try to avoid
You should have
that.
saw the gasp that Corey just
I
had.
know.
Oh my gosh.
you should have seen the look when I married my husband, who's named Rain.
Yeah.
The looks that I got.
Yeah,
Kinda
we call
karma
him
is that?
Mr. We call him Mr. Warner on parade day.
Yeah, you gotta.
So
You
the
gotta.
original route, or the long-standing route, is just over 2 miles. It's just a shade shorter than the Memorial Day route. So that was one reason to do it, but not the only one. There's a railroad that crosses the route. That was another reason in favor of shortening it. It actually introduced a few safety issues. You don't want a train rolling through a marching band or anything like that, but it really caused more logistical issues because there was no way for us to prevent the train from coming through during the parade, and that would cause huge gaps because obviously you got to stop and wait for it to pass.
Right.
The key reason, though, is safety. And unfortunately, over the last decade or so, there have been numerous events
Yes.
disrupted by acts of terror or violence or even accidents. And there have been a handful of parades. We've been in discussion with APD pretty much over the last 3 or 4 years seriously. I mean, safety is always a top concern. But when Waukesha happened, there was an event in New Orleans. There was another event in Northern Illinois on a July 4th parade. There was actually a parade that was interrupted by someone who had a medical emergency behind the wheel just a little while ago. So
Yes, I feel like I remember reading about that. Yeah.
It's
just so many different situations that have come up that I'm sure have really stirred up these conversations even more. Because like you guys said, safety's always been a concern.
Yep.
And it's always top priority when you're bringing that many people down, not only to participate, but to come watch as well. And this is not a small change. Like I know people have been making comments about, well, isn't safety always been a concern? Yes. And changes like this take time, effort, energy, money,
Yep.
resources to make. And you guys have put in a lot of work into doing that.
Right.
Right.
We organize the event. We line up the parade. We make sure everything goes off smoothly, as smooth as we can. But we are just really one part of the equation. We also work very closely with the city and the mayor's office, the different departments of the city, including the Appleton Police Department, and they really are the safety experts. So we've worked very closely with them forever,
Yes.
and obviously we're going to follow their lead. They really wanted to focus down, and we totally agree that they know how to contain College Avenue. They know how to secure it. They know how to make sure they can make it as safe as possible.
I think ADI has given them a lot of experience in that.
Yeah, you guys know very well Appleton Downtown
Yes.
Incorporated with all
sure
your
do.
events on the avenue. You've
Yep.
got to work closely with the police department, and they are the experts. Hey, I know there's a question about our favorite part of the parade, and one of my favorite parts of the parade was always walking down Wisconsin Avenue and State Street, because State Street especially had a lot of residential properties. You saw a lot of families, reunions, parties, similar faces from year to year, and it really breaks our heart that we're not able to walk by their houses this year or their
Right.
businesses on Wisconsin Avenue. But ultimately, we have to do three things. We have to make sure that everybody is safe. We have to maintain the standards that have been set for us by our predecessors, our ancestors, so to speak. And we also want to celebrate the flag in America, right? So this move was tough. It wasn't a snap decision by any means. It took years of discussions actually to talk about it. And unfortunately, it's something in this day and age that has to happen, but we feel really good about it for the future of the event, that we can kind of build a new tradition on an existing part of the route. It's not like we're moving down a new street. We've been on College Avenue for 75 years,
Yep.
and there have been Flag Day parades before this current iteration on the same stretch as well. So we understand that some people are upset and they're frustrated,
Yep.
but we just ask them to remember, again, the purpose of this is to celebrate as a community, and we're just asking everybody to come down to College Avenue and celebrate together.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you put that really well. You understand and empathize with those that have continued those traditions. And, even me who's been on the outside, not being part of the committee, but being part of ADI, have seen the comments and things. And it's normal to be upset. We've talked about tradition a lot this episode and how both of these parades have a lot of tradition in them. But we hope that, these families will still come, create new traditions, come downtown on College Avenue. A lot of great spots, a lot of great businesses you can visit too while you're here, and come down and watch this awesome parade too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The comments, there have been a lot of legitimate points there, but then there have been some that actually made us chuckle a little bit too.
Well, there always is.
Like, how are you going to get 50,000 people on College Avenue? And we're like, well,
Same way we do the Christmas parade.
Yeah, exactly. So
We've done it before.
Yes.
So it's going to be different this year, but I really feel like it's going to be good, and I think it's going to be good for Downtown Appleton.
Yeah, yeah. And I think some people have been wondering, we are still having our farm market that Saturday as well. We're just going to be ending it a little bit earlier, ending at noon instead of 12:30, just so that way we can give people, both the vendors and attendees of the farm market, a chance to get off the street, to get the parade people kind of going and getting things set up. So just a little bit of change surrounding that, but overall, it's going to be great for both organizations involved, and we're very excited. We can still have the farm market and then still, have the great parade as well right after that. So you can really make a day of it, morning/afternoon of coming out to the farm market, do some shopping there, do some shopping on the avenue, and then come out to the parade.
Right. And we've been working great together, and we'll have some military bands playing in Houdini Plaza during the farm market. So
yes,
it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it's a great collaboration for sure.
Yep.
And as we're kind of talking about that, and we mentioned this when we were talking about Memorial Day, are there any special guest performances that we'll see in this lineup that you guys want to shout out? Maybe some that are calling out that 250th? Maybe you're keeping that a secret. Maybe it's a surprise.
Maybe.
I will say that as we went through the applications, there were several that mentioned America 250 specifically. And there are a few that are going to reenact very important moments from American history. And that was something we kind of hoped for, but didn't really expect. So really looking forward to seeing those floats on June 13th.
That's awesome.
We do have the Quantico Marine Band. We have the 1st Brigade Band. And we have the Badger Band, which is always my favorite because
I know Megan's a big fan of that one too. We always talk about that. UW Marching Band.
Yeah, they always play after the parade, so they'll be in Houdini Plaza following the parade. So everybody come join us because they put on a great show after the parade. Yeah, so the more the merrier, as many as we can fit in Houdini.
Squeeze them in.
They just love to perform, and they put on quite a show.
They do.
We have the Golden Gals of Milwaukee coming back. They are always a great hit in the parade.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Is that the Dancing Grannies? No?
No,
Is
it's a different group.
Oh.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's a
Is it
different
similar?
group. They are similar.
Okay.
They're similar.
Yeah.
So I know we've talked about that. All right.
They were both in the parade last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy to see them.
Right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of great groups.
Right. Right.
Several Shriners units that really bring a lot of fun aspects to the parade too. Superheroes, scooters. They've got, I don't know, like a 360 turn vehicle. So they do a lot of
Just
fun
like
stuff.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to bringing them. And then we have East, West, and North high school bands. We have Lakeside Lutheran Vanguard. So we've got a lot of local high school musicians coming in too.
That's great. I love how you have that for all the parades, about how you have those cool, musicians from different schools coming in and playing. Obviously,
You need music.
with whatever it may be. Yeah, if
Yep.
it's Christmas
You
or
need
these,
music in the
the
bay.
style of music,
Yep.
it's always cool to see them, and then brings their families out, which is great too. So
I should say too that we also have American Legion groups. We have VFWs. So we have a lot of veteran service organizations, and the Elks. And the Elks started the parade 75 years ago. So we always make sure that we have a spot for them and make sure that they get the recognition they deserve.
that's very cool.
And the City of Appleton Band.
And the
band.
City of Appleton
city.
band.
Yep.
And we always have a City of Appleton float built by Mark Clemmy, who is out of Waukesha, but he's done a lot of great stuff for not only this parade, but the Christmas parade. So we're really grateful for his work too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
So many great things. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to share about Flag Day? Should I bring my flag?
Yes. Oh, speaking of that, right before the parade starts, Pierce Manufacturing and WHBY will be doing their flag giveaway. So,
Ooh.
yeah, probably about 15, 20 minutes before the parade starts, they walk down the streets and they hand out flags to as many people as they can before the parade starts. So they'll just be walking down, giving flags, shaking hands.
Cool.
giving
Well,
out
then I
those
don't
flags.
maybe even need to bring my flag.
Well, if they
Maybe
can't
I'll get
you.
one. I'll get both. I'll have two of them, and I'll be ready to go.
Right. It's just a tradition that they've been doing for years, and
That's
it's a great
awesome. I
partnership.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so they'll be doing that. And hopefully we can figure out how Pierce can do their arch with the fire trucks. It's a little bit difficult this year with the lights over the intersections on College Avenue, but we're working on it and trying to figure that out.
Making it happen.
Make it happen.
Awesome.
So Pierce
That's
has been
great.
a great partner of ours. So
Yes. Yeah. So I think, Corey, you shared this earlier. I don't know if you have anything else, or if, Megan, you want to share something that you love about Flag Day.
I guess I'll talk since Corey has been stealing the show, but
He's a teacher. He's used to
I
it.
know he's used to talking.
Sheesh.
I'm going to go back and time each one of us and see who's talking.
This is the brother-sister coming out right
Yeah.
here.
He did.
Mom like you best.
Oh.
Well, she still does.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the baby.
Okay, what I love most about the Flag Day Parade is probably the pride, and my favorite part that I like, and probably most of them don't even know, and I'm already getting choked up about
Oh, boy.
it.
Yeah.
See, I'm the baby.
See, this is why I should have done that outside.
No, we love it.
Is the national anthem. I don't get to place people at the Flag Day Parade because I take all the calls in. Everybody checks in, so we're wearing radios, and everyone's like, Megan, so and so's here. So I check them off to make sure everybody's here because I report to WFRV that everybody's here because they're calling everybody on TV. So they need to know that everybody showed up. But I make sure at what time do they do the national anthem?
158.
158.
Yeah.
Then my butt is up there, and I listen to the band or whoever. I have my big sunglasses on.
Yeah.
This is how I get.
Yeah.
Because I
It's
think
beautiful.
that's the best part of the parade is watching that because it kicks it off. This is my favorite parade.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
I love it. Yeah.
But I just think it means so much to see the community come together, come downtown. It's just a different perspective in our shoes
Yep.
because we put a lot into it.
Yes.
This is a harder parade to put together than the Christmas parade. Christmas parade, everybody wants to be part of.
Right.
I mean, it's the Christmas parade.
Right. Yeah.
This is a harder parade, to get people involved, to get people downtown.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you guys put so much work into it.
It
And I
is.
talked
It's
about
hard.
that from the last episode too, and I'll bring it up again. Obviously, me being in the event planning world, I can understand and respect so much how much work goes into things like this. And we appreciate you and the committee so much for all the work that you do to putting all this together and all the behind the scenes things. Like you said, so much changes, even literally the day of, but all the things leading up and all the work that you do to put the lineups together and to coordinate all these things, thinking about the safety of attendees. I mean, so many great things that you guys are doing. So again, from all of us, thank you for everything that you do. And it's going to be amazing. And we're excited to see them again. They're going to be great.
thanks.
Yeah. It's
Thank
going to
you.
be so good.
We're part of a team. We have Megan and I are third generation, and we've got other family traditions on our committee too. And we're all volunteers.
Yep.
So we're doing the best we can outside of work. And, Megan talked about the beginning of the parade, and that is really a striking moment. But one of my favorite parts is the end of the parade because I'm up at the front and I'm the starter. And then as it ends, the committee members kind of follow the last unit up, and then it's almost like a reunion of the committee. It's a long day. It's been a long 6 months getting ready for it. And there's just a huge sigh of relief, a few hugs, and then we walk down College Avenue and celebrate ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to see you guys at the end of the Christmas parade. I always get excited and cheer big because I know how relieving that moment is at the end of an event when everything is all said and done. And it's very rewarding, but also very, very relieving that it's over for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As we wrap things up here, what's something that you guys want people to remember about these parades after listening to this episode?
I think it's important just to celebrate it as a community. They really are inclusive, unifying events. It's not about putting anybody's political statements or beliefs out there. It's really about kind of putting our differences aside and celebrating Flag Day, but really celebrating Appleton and the Fox Cities and each other. So Flag Day is a celebration. Memorial Day is more of a commemoration for those who made the ultimate sacrifice. But ultimately, it's a reason to get together and celebrate America.
Absolutely.
What I want people to remember most is that both of these parades are about connection to history, to community, and to each other. The traditions that bring Appleton together in a really powerful way across generations and across the entire community. Whether you're participating in the parade or watching from the sidelines, you're part of something bigger.
I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you both so much for coming on today. Flag Day Parade, Saturday, June 13th, 2 p.m. Everybody come on out. Come see that amazing parade, both of them. Again, thank you so much for coming on and for everything you guys do to bring these important traditions to life every year. The Memorial Day and Flag Day Parade are very meaningful events for our community, and we appreciate all the work that goes on to make them happen. So thank you guys.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Abby.
you.
Yeah. And to our listeners, be sure to mark those calendars. Again, it is May 25th and June 13th. Come downtown and help honor these important traditions right here in Appleton. You can find more information about all the City of Appleton parades on their website, appletonwi.gov, and search parades. Or you can find them on Facebook, search for City of Appleton Parades. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk of the Town. We'll be back with more stories, more voices, and more reasons to love downtown Appleton. Until next time, keep your ears open. You just might be hearing the next Talk of the Town. This episode is brought to you by J. Geiger Consulting, a consulting firm specializing in J.D. Edwards Solutions and proud sponsor of Appleton Downtown Incorporated. Special thanks to local songwriter Amelia Ford for creating original music just for this podcast.